Some free beer this Christmas? Does Edson Alvarez love a booking? Does Michael Antonio love a podcast? The answer to all those questions is yes, of course. And it's Beer 52's award season where they celebrate the very best in independent craft breweries across the world with 8 new and exclusive beers you're not going to find anywhere else. All you need to do is go to beer52.com/West Ham and cover the postage of $5.95, and they'll send you out a free case of 8 exclusive beers straight away. I love Beer 52. I've been using them for a while. I love the fact that you get different beers every month, and this month is an absolute cracker as they celebrate the greatest talents in the craft global beer movement. For example, craft beer giants Omnipolo's Outer Galactic, cracking beer. It's really smooth, really drinkable pale ale, really hoppy, and really nicely rounded to ensure you're coming back for more and more. You can drink this one quite a lot. It's very nice indeed. But if you don't like dark beer, not a problem. Simply choose the light case, and don't forget you get a couple of tasty snacks too. You can also learn about all the fantastic breweries featured in your case with the award-winning Ferment magazine as well. So you find sort of the provenance and find out more about the story of the brewer that you're drinking. And even after all that, if you're still not satisfied, you can simply pause or cancel any time. So that's beer52.com/West Ham to claim your free case. That's beer52.com/West Ham. Guess everybody, Russ and the West Ham Network, hope you're all safe and well. Just give a little plug to our good friends at beer52.com/West Ham. And actually, they've got a new one out, which is like world's greatest beer. So it's beers from all over the world, which is quite good. Hope you're safe and well on Thursday. If you're new around here, welcome. Thanks for joining us as we try to do the day after the night before. We do the ratings show, get your views. Obviously, we've already put out a little video today from Alf. He had a bit of a grumble. About VAR. So go and check that out. Also, we had loads of other stuff. So we had inside the Dubai Hammers little corner of West Ham in the middle of Dubai at Nelson's in the media centre. So Dave, who's in charge of the Dubai Hammers, gave us a little guided tour, which was nice. We're going to do a lot more of that. Give you a feeling of how people are supporting the club outside of the UK, or even in the UK. Some of the fan groups all over the place. Obviously, international week now, or international break, 2 weeks off now from West Ham first team action. We will talk about all the international Hammers later on in Hammers headlines, plus Loan Watch, West Ham women, and then we'll do the Academy show. Great Academy show this week. Really positive as well. So obviously last week with George Earthy making his debut, his first team debut. Wins for both groups as well. And even the guys who went on loan who got minutes, I think they all won as well. So a really positive. It's a shame we just only got fucking 1-1, wasn't it, yesterday? Unbelievable. As I said, longest VA check in history. You'll never sing that. You'll never sing that. Let's see if we're going to chat. Jan was very early. Yes, she was very early. There we go, mate. There we go. Brilliant. That's better. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. Matt's here. Nice to see you. Usual suspect. Anthony's here. Pete's here. Stuart's here. Aaron's here. Moyes bottled it. We had them pinned back. We certainly did. It was a game of two halves. It really was a game of two halves, wasn't it? And we did. They were there for the taking. I was a bit surprised. I think they only had how many shots on target? I know they had a lot of possession, but in terms of shots on target, I don't remember having them having a shot in the first half. Let's have a quick butcher's look, shall we? Let me get the old stats up. Yeah, it was a really strange game, wasn't it? And let's have a look. Where's the stats? They had 13 shots. I don't remember. Maybe a lot of them were probably the second half, to be honest. Size in the chat. Good afternoon. All good evening. Well, he's still good afternoon to you. Just about. Moyes should be sacked just for wanting to spend money on Maguire. Although, I'll be honest. I think we could have done in the last few weeks with a Craig Dawson, Maguire type centre half. I think that's one of the reasons. I think why we had a dip in form was we was interchanging the centre halves, And I think, I don't think it's any, any coincidence that our defence declined as soon as Craig Dawson left. Where we thought, actually he's playing alongside and that's making him a better player. Maybe it's the way around. Maybe he was making the likes of Zuma, the likes of Aged, the likes of Ogbonna, making them better people and better players. I think sometimes we need a bit of grit. And look, if we got, I appreciate Maguire's 31 and but if we got him for, not a lot of money, then I think it wouldn't be a bad bit of business. I'll be honest. We do need a bit of experience. I know we've got the oldest squad in the world and yada, but sometimes I think experience counts. And yes, you can have a very progressive centre half, but you need a bit of experience sometimes when the chips are down, when someone who's been there or done that wore the t-shirt. Yeah. I'm not saying get him in, but if it was like a really good deal, I think you could benefit, particularly when you come into that squeaky bum time. Someone who's got that experience to just sort of impart, even if it's not in starting, but just around the squad. I think we need that. We've lost that. With people like Mark Noble going, and we know Cressy's going to go, and Ogbonna. We're going to have we'll have someone like Fabianski still around. We'll have Zuma. But I think having a bit of experience is really crucial, particularly if we're looking to bring in a lot of younger players. I mean, even by Leverkusen, we talk about the Tim Steiner project and by Leverkusen, all these young, they still have Granit Xhaka, and he's been a cornerstone to that side. Brighton still have Milner. They still have, Welbeck. They still have Lallana. You can have all the great young players in the world, but you still need that sort of a little bit of experience in there. And Cyril, hope you're well. Ludders wasn't wasn't going to play for Jamaica, but looks like he is. He's got. They're in the CONCACAF semi-finals. They could play Edson Alvarez in the final. Mexico have got on the other side. Although I think USA will beat Canada, but I think they'll still play third place. So he'll be playing 2 games. But anyway, we'll talk about that in Hammer's headlines. Don't worry about that. Despite the draw, I think we deserve the win. Totally agree. Reverting back to Plan A after the Euro success. But not from a what's name perspective, not from the team lineup perspective. I actually thought he was going to go back to type, but he played a striker, a forward, not really a striker, play forward, and he played Paqueta in the 10 role. Yes, he mixed it around a bit, but yeah. Good afternoon, GP. Antonio showing why the stricter position for us, the striker position. Yeah, I totally agree. I want Santiago Jimenez. I think he would be, if Arnie Slot's coming in, bring Santiago with him. I think we would. We want Dean Ashton. That's what we want. A young Dean Ashton would be phenomenal. He'd be the perfect foil to this side, in my opinion. You're welcome. You're welcome. I've seen Ocean Liners turn quicker than Maguire, in true. But don't forget, we all laughed at Craig Dawson, didn't we? Perversely, we looked better defensively. We played front foot. Possibly the small data set for which too small. He's a better defender than we see weekly. I totally agree. Blame Moyes for subbing and something holding on for 1-0 win. Was it Paqueta that let the guy run? Yes, it was. He was the guy that missed. He missed the ball. He went to sort of dive and has missed it, and then that would have been the man he was tracking. I think. Biff 2 in my bath, my ducky. That's very good. Every time we go ahead in the league, why do we start receding quicker? I don't know. I don't know, Toby. And I think that's one of the main issues for me, and I think for most people, I don't sign up to this whole thing that you have to play beautiful football all the time, because actually what you need to do is you need to be adaptable. If we played we should play like Brentford every day. If we played like Brentford all the time, we would not win every game. People think we're going to win the league. No, but we'll get turned over against the likes of the bigger clubs because you will do. You might win a game, but you get turned over. So I think it's about being adaptable. I still think if we'd played that Brentford the way we played at Brentford against the way we played against Burnley, Sheffield United, maybe against Villa yesterday, we could have been about 4 to 6 points better off than we are now. And I think that's the main frustration, because we've got it in the locker. We've got this way of playing in the locker, but then it's the next it's perversely, if we played that, if say we take it turned over, I know we get turned over already, Arsenal or 6-0 or whatever. So that happens, 3 or 4 times. Actually, it has happened 3 or 4 times this year. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm trying to say. I think we has to be adaptable. You have to play. Yes, it's important to play your way, but be adaptable to the opposition you're playing against. And I think we're too much defensive first. We're actually sometimes, like the Brentford game, like the Burnley game, we could let the shackles off a little bit more often. Same as Sheffield United game. There's games you could definitely go through. We played better like that. Play better like that. Play better like that. Yeah. Anyway, afternoon from sunny Devon. When is bin day? Wednesday for me. Matt, hope you're well. Mandy, good evening to you. I saw moaning about the low block. Do you think with the Glen? Well, look, I understand where sort of. I understand. I totally get it, because actually, when we do play with the shackles off, we're brilliant. We've got the players to play it. But I don't think you could play that every week and assume you're going to be in the same position as we'll be in now. You have to be adaptable. Sometimes you do need to give it a rugby term, shove it up your jumper. Sometimes you need to. You do need to. I remember when the Redknapp, everyone talks about the glory of football we played on. There was sometimes we shithouse results out of that as well, because Redknapp knew we were going to get turned over if we played, so he would put up his jumper, so to speak. I think that's the issue. It's not, we're not doing it consistently enough. It seems that we're maintaining our defensive first. It's not low block. It's just defensive, isn't it? It's not. We play defensive line and counter-attacking football. When it works perfectly, like Arsenal away, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. It works perfectly. Yes, how we only got, but that's why we pay big money to get a good goalkeeper. That helps. That does help us. What we got here, considering that Villa are full from, we played well to contain them. We did. I don't think Villa played particularly well. They had a couple of players out, and it showed in the midfield. I think the midfield was where we won the battle mainly. I think Alvarez was phenomenal yesterday. Although does get a silly yellow card, so now he's out for 2 games. Well, 3 games technically, because he'll be out for the 2 Premier League games, and he'll be out for obviously the first leg of the quarterfinals as well. So you imagine we'll be seeing Mr. Phillips playing quite often there now. So a little bit silly of him, I think. Why are people angry that Moyes subbed Antonio to clear? I totally agree. I don't think Antonio should. I think he should have been. He looked knackered. I think the frustration was he subbed off for Ben Johnson, because I think then they pushed Bowen up top. He's never going to play what's his name. He's never going to bring on Mbama, is he? Because he won't sign the contract. He's not going to let him, plug, almost like show his wares to, because he won't. And Ings can't play up front of his own, so he had to come off. He was knackered, you can tell. The breach really showed we missed an attacker to bring on. Subs that got them the point. I tell you what got them the point: Diaby. They brought in Diaby, Musa Diaby, and Matty Cash, and they made an impact. They were impact signings, and they looked a different side of them 2 playing. And you think we would have known about Diaby quite a bit, because obviously he's former Leverkusen, and he made a massive difference. We have to play like we did against Arsenal and Man United when we beat them both. Yep, but again, that wasn't the flamboyant. The Arsenal game, and I don't really count the Arsenal League Cup game, because that was a different side. When we beat Arsenal away, we didn't really play flamboyant, but we played the low block well, and it worked. And that's what I mean. You need the differences. Afternoon, Artel. Hope you're well. At the top striker. Although Ollie Watkins didn't get much of a sniff, though, to be honest, did he? I don't think he did, but I thought Diaby was phenomenal. Annoyed that he's missing the next 2 games. That's the trouble. You're going to pick up. You can adapt, but that is in-game management. Indeed. What happened to the ball to arm? Not hand. Oh, exactly. If you just had the ball, it's hard to score. Could have just gave a run up top. He's not good up top on his own. The best we see of Danny Ings is when he's playing as a 10 or up front with someone. The issue we're taking is that we lost all full momentum. We did, but then we don't have a Mikel Antonio replacement. We do actually on the bench in terms of Obama, but he's never going to play him because he won't sign a contract, so he's not going to play him. Although he does play Ben Johnson, and Ben Johnson has signed a new contract, so I don't really understand. There can only be one explanation for some of the ridiculous. Sky Sports have full control of the results. That's not going to happen. That's quite funny. Once we are paying a striker that he can't play. Indeed. But don't forget, Mr. Moyes did not bring in. People criticise him for Danny Ings. He didn't bring in Danny Ings. That was a gift from Mr. Sullivan, wasn't it? That was not a David Moyes signing. Another reason why we'll come back to bite us in the butt. Yeah, possibly. Imagine having players on the bench. You could bring indeed. Imagine it's what an incredible thought, Lee, to have some game changers on the bench. As you said before, we just need a striker like Antonio. But I don't think we need. See, I think by having a striker like Antonio, you don't want to unlike him, but you want a good option. So for me, I don't think. I think in the summer we bring it. For me, if we're bringing in a forward, it has to be a number one, not for an Antonio replacement. Antonio will, if he's staying, is the replacement, is the game changer. You need to bring someone in who's going to be the first teamer. And I think it'll be for me. I really want someone like Santiago Jimenez. I think he'd be perfect for what we need. But that will be. We have to wait and see, won't we? We've got your thoughts. Was our best player? Just want him to get a goal. Yeah, nearly. Didn't Sally keep the receipt? Indeed, he maybe got one of those gift receipts. Right, let's do the ratings. So everyone, obviously, anyone new, we do the ratings. I give you my thoughts. You give me yours. There's no half points in this game. Just letting you know, no decimal places. The decimal points, whole numbers only. And we usually disagree. And that's how it usually works. It's quite simple. Right, let's start with the goalkeeper. That seems the best place to start. Let's oh god, where's my thing? Where's my mouse gone now? Sorry, let's do that again. Let's start with the goalkeeper, shall we? Let's start with Areola. So you can start putting your scores in the chat. Now, obviously, I thought he had a good game. Again, another strong game from Areola. Made a good save off Ollie early on. And then there was one of, was it Konsa, where he sort of like seemed to just throw his body at him. Couple of good, does a couple of punches out, and obviously he's back in the French squad. He's only got, and this is true. I'm trying to check. Someone mentioned something. He had his debut in 2018. I'm just going to check because I don't believe this is true. Surely it's not true. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, it's true. He made his debut in 2018, so that's 6 years ago. He's got 5 caps for France in 6 years. 5 caps for France in 6 years. That is mental. That is mental. I expected a draw at worst. Yeah, I thought we'd get a draw. I was hoping for a draw, and I was gutted we did actually. Really, 7-8, 7-8-8. Ref minus 10, 8-8. He's been brilliant every game. 8. I think it's important to keep Antonio in the summer. I totally agree. But I think he'll be. Maybe not. I don't think he'll go to David. Usually I agree with you. I don't agree with that point about the club captain because he'll just moan about it on bloody his podcast. But I think he's very good to have his impact sub, and that's what we need. He would be able to do that job for another year, 18 months. That's an impact sub. 20 minutes here, coming on, maybe starting the odd cup game. That'd be perfect for him. Areola 7. You see, we do agree there, Damien. I gave him a 7. Very good game again from Alphonse. Let's talk about Vladimir Soufal. Great, obviously another assist. Fantastic cross for Antonio for the opener. He's now got 7 assists to his name. That's quite impressive. Where does that leave on the Premier League? I'm going to have a quick look at the old Premier League.com. We'll have a quite look at that. Well, we've got VAR 10, more commanding from him, and he'll be a 10. Yeah, you're right. I mean, in terms of Areola, you're right. He actually did it. There was a couple of times he went out and claimed the ball really well. But yeah, I know what you mean. 8. Listen, what the guys are saying. Hit the like button. 8. Not even looking at that one. 8, 6. Yep. Apart from Pickford, who has got more England caps? Well, Lots of others. 8, 7, 8. Ladders is man of the match. 8, 8. Not called up for the Czech Republic squad. I think didn't he? Oh, that's why. Didn't he get done for being in a nightclub? That's why he's not in the. That's why he's not. 7. Maybe Moyes was right to put him off. Putting Johnson on probably the worst sub to do through. I know. I thought Johnson did all right actually. Yeah, he tried. You know, he's. I mean, yeah. I mean, the obvious one would have been put on Obama, but he wouldn't have done that. Ings, yeah, maybe. I just don't think that would have been the right move for him. He must be like, where is that? Where is he on the old? Where is he on the old? Let's have a look on the assist. He's got 8. He's got 7 assists now. So he'd be on like. Oh, why is my mouse going on? Hello, is my mouse just? It's the battery of my mouse, so it's just going to just go. Quite possibly. Brilliant. No, I think we're right for a little bit longer. Yes, he's doing quite well. 8, 7 to win the game. You don't put no, but we weren't winning the game at the time, were we? It was draw. We were still in the lead, so I could see why he did it. Although Benny wasn't in the Leon squad this weekend. Should have thrown Johnson up a striker. Yeah, he's played everywhere else. Yep, you're totally right. Any striker would be scoring goals. I gave him a 7. Thought it was a good game for him. Solid game from the Impaler. Let's talk about Zuma, captain Zuma. I mean, the one thing I didn't understand yesterday was why we were playing such a high line when we've got Zuma when he's got no fucking pace, and whereas Ollie Watkins is a complete speed merchant. But he coped relatively well, to be honest, against Ollie Watkins. Not the finest game for him, but was okay. I would have put Phillips or Antonio pushed. Yep, fair enough. No, if mentioning it, 7. Now regarding caps, goalies don't get games, if not for friendlies or average. Yeah, but 5 in 6 years, Leslie. 6 years, 5 caps. It's not a lot, is it? 6 for Zuma, 7, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. So 6s and 7s, literally. I gave Zuma a 6. Average game. I can see a more focus an option in this new system. I totally agree. But but he won't be given the opportunities to do that, I don't think. I think Moyes always made his mind up with him. Let's talk about Dinos Mavropanos, again, very, he's really funny, Dinos. He has a really good game, then a really shit game, then a really good game, and a really shit game. Yes, that was a really good game. I thought he played all right yesterday. Really positive. On the front foot, he was trying to nip the ball off Villa quite a lot. Putting pressure on the front men. I thought he had a really good game. There's 3 or 4 times where he took the ball off their toes, which I thought I was really impressed. Got a few decent passes in as well. Little mazy run as well. He's gonna. I've got a feeling he's gonna absolutely crack one in from about 30 yards soon, because that's what he used to do for Stuttgart. And you can see it's starting the cogs are starting to turn. 7, 8, 8, 8 man a match for Damien's 8, 7, 7 from Mavropanos for Stewart. Obviously, he's been called up to the Greek squad. They're playing in the semi-final playoff against Kazakhstan. The winner will be Luxembourg. They play Luxembourg or Hungary or something like that, I think it is. So hopefully Dinos will be around for that, and hopefully we'll see him in the Euros. It'd be great. Be great to see Dinos there. So that's encouraging. 7 is growing on me. I would love to borrow Russ's hot tub. I haven't got a hot tub. Got a pool. Why not a hot tub? He's going to get a header on the far post soon. 8 for the Greek Colossus. Russie B gave him a 7. Thought it was a very strong game for Dinos. Who's next? Let's talk about Emerson. Let's talk about Emerson Palmieri. Back from injury. I think he looked like he was back from injury. Not the gallivanting forward that we always get from him, unfortunately. I still think he was suffering a little bit. I think we rushed him back in time for the Villa game. Had a good had a good run in, but not a classic game for him. Again, he's used to having Paqueta in front of him where he had Kudus. They're still learning that relationship. It seems they're still trying to understand each other a little bit. Looked better when when Paqueta drifted out to the left hand side. There's I think was it Leon Bailey had a shot in the second half, and he got himself in the way of that. He did go off. He had a slight knock, which was why he was taken off for Cresswell. But he's got now 2 weeks to recover, so there's no problem in terms of a crucial few games we've got coming up soon. Dinos makes no mistakes. You're totally right. 7, still settling back from injury. Would have given another week off. I would have if it wasn't Villa. But he's got more than a week off. He's got 2 weeks off now. So I think that's what for me, he was probably about 80% fit, 75% fit. So he'd be like, okay, with calculated risk. Hopefully he'd do enough to get the job done. And then he's got 2 weeks off now because he's not called up to the Italian side. So 7, play more forward, quiet game. 6, still a bit rusty. 7, not outstanding. 7, a most improved player with Kudus. Would you consider swapping Paqueta and Kudus in that system? Possibly, yeah. I just think Paqueta's, the thing is, both are more effective in the 10 role than on the left hand side. Both of them are. So if they're interchanging, I don't have a problem with that. And then they can. But again, for me, Kudus is more effective on the right hand side. I wouldn't mind throwing Bowen on the left hand side. Give him a go there. You know what I mean? He's left footed anyway. Then you've got people who are left footed, I think, and then Kudus is right footed. So having people on the same foot on either side, revolutionary. 7 for the Italian Roberto Carlos. I gave him a 6. Not an epic game for him, but a decent game. Let's talk about Tommy Souček. He was unlucky, obviously. He tried to flick Paqueta's effort, and it went around the post in the first half. Obviously denied a late winner thanks to VAR, as everyone else was. Denied with VAR, it seemed. I think I was even denied a goal by VAR for handball or ball to hand. I wouldn't say the rip-roaring game he's had recently, but a competent game. Wouldn't say he was our worst player at all yesterday. I thought he played well. But yeah, not even talking about that. 7, 7, 7, 8, 6. 6, had a good game. 7 biggest hands. 6 of the Potato King. Excellent first half. Slightly less effective second. He has found a sort of vein in form, hasn't he, really? Which is great. 7. VAR don't like us. 7, it's Potato. I actually gave him a 6. Maybe I'll push it up to a 7. I'll be nice. Let's talk about Alvarez. I thought he was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding at the base of that midfield. Covered the ground well. Allowed the front 4 to press on. Most of the time he ends up playing as almost like a sweeper. It's brilliant. Obviously, he's going to miss 2 games now, which is a bit of a blow. But that's why we got someone like Calvin Phillips in for that exact reason. So when, we know that Edson's not going to play every game with suspension or injury, and we look at a complete different side when he's not playing. So having someone like Phillips to drop in there gives you a little bit of, not a like for like, but someone who's a good player, a good central defensive midfielder. Obviously, he goes and plays. Edson's playing 2 games for was it 2 games? Yeah, he's actually 2 games for Mexico in the CONCACAFs, the semi-final and the 3rd, 4th place playoff or the final. And then he's got, in essence, 3 weeks off, really, or another 2 weeks off, because then he will miss the Spurs game, he'll miss the Freiburg game, and he'll miss the Fulham game, I want to say. What we got here? Let's go back up. What we got here? 9, 8, 8. Bit tight. Well, I've got higher standards. 9, 9, 8 would have been a 9 etc. City booking. Is Alvarez as good as Rice? Different play completely. Not even mentioning it. 9, 8, 7, 10. Play of the season. Phillips 10 for starting on the bench. So much fun. Then this is so much more fun than admin. It always is, Damien. Always is. I gave him an 8. He was my man of the match. Russie B, man of the match. I thought he was outstanding. Let's talk about Lucas Paqueta. There's no one better apparently than our Brazilian Manafy. Cool. Went close early on, didn't he? Obviously, Souček ended up flicking it around the corner. He couldn't quite cut out the pass to Diaby, which set up the leveler for Aston Villa. A lot of flicks and tricks, not as many flicks and tricks actually. It was more just, he was. I think he was more sensible than he was before. In terms of just his general play. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what you guys think. Let's have a quick look here. Just okay, 8, no, 7, 9, 7, 7, 7, not fully fit. 7, obviously, again went down with shin. As I said, he's definitely got shin splint problems because every time he goes down, the first thing they do is they get the cream out and they rub both sides of his calf and both legs. 7 needs to get some goals. Man of match rush. Should Alvarez be more yellow card responsible? So we don't have an adequate replacement. Well, on paper we have an adequate replacement, Aldi, but that's his style. And I think Edson will learn. And that's why I think Anton the other day said Edson should be our club captain. I said no, because he's still going to be suspended for 4 or 5 games every season. So I think he needs to. I think, yeah, he is my man in the match because I think if we didn't have him, we wouldn't have got the point. And that, because I think they would have got a lot more joy in that midfield. I think he's a little bit hot-headed, but I think that was sort of endears into the West Ham fan base as well. Thomas Repica was hot-headed, and the West Ham fan base quite liked him. And you have to be a little bit like a bit of a bastard in that central midfield position. And he'll learn. He will learn, and it's taking time. And that was, the one yesterday was just reactionary. There was no, and I thought the referee lost it towards the end of that game. Definitely wasn't overwhelmed with Paqueta. Say 6, 7, 7. It's part of his game. Will always come. Paqueta needs to wear proper pads. Modern player. Ref 3, 4, 5 minutes to get decision because you guessed it. Guess yourselves after 12 angles. Hence bad decisions. Actually, I was not a greatest game for Paqueta yesterday. I gave him a 6. Let's talk about Kudus. Mohamed Kudus, obviously Ghana. He's playing 2 friendlies. Again, this is all in Hammer's headlines. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. 2 friendlies, one on Saturday, one on Tuesday, potentially. One's against, is it Mauritania? I can't remember I think so. Something like that. I think, and this is the issue I've got with the left-hand side. I think both Paqueta and Kudus sacrifice themselves by going to the left-hand side. When they're at a 10 or when Kudus on the right, for me, they're better players. But unfortunately, we've got a gap we have to fill at the moment. And so it is Paqueta there or it's Kudus there. And I think both of them are just, sacrifice themselves. When he moved on to the right, he was better, but I think on the left the team looked more balanced. I think there's more, there's a better balance to the side. We've got wingers on either side pushing forward. But I think when he goes to the right, we're very imbalanced, and I think then we end up playing a lot more on the right than we do on the left, which is a shame because you've got someone like Emerson who's more than capable to help out. Let's see what we got here. 8. 7, 7, 7 should have scored the 1-on-1. Play him at 10. So if you play him at 10, that means Paqueta goes on the left wing. Would you prefer that? I don't know. 7, goal was good. Should be on a 10, 8, 7. Tried hard and he's tackling back. Looked great. Ref should never blown up before the score. Let the player run and sort it out if it was a foul. Yeah, it was a weird one, wasn't it? I saw the Irish Tommy after the game, and where the other 2 goals, to be honest, I thought they were both handball, and that's coming from a West Ham fan who wants to win the game. But the Kudus one, everyone just went, yeah. He was like, what? It was such a bizarre one. I totally agree. That's why that's when you use VAR. Game of 7. Thought we had an okay game. Let's talk about Jared. Obviously, on corners, some great corners. And the corners really caused Martinez and the centre halves at Aston Villa a lot of problems. Really, so quite surprising. And yeah, I thought he's quite lively in open play. I thought he had quite a really good game in terms of just turning and running. Lots of energy as always. Was really, I thought he had a really good game. He needs to buy a left winger, indeed. Hi, bro. I like you. I like you too, MRK Original. Hope you're well. Don't forget to give it a like and the comment and share. 8 for bullseye. 7, 8, 8. Subdued and slightly greedy. I was going to say 6, but 7 for the corners. 8 from Stuart. Yeah, I thought the set plays were really good. And you can see both. You can see Villa were worried about both Bowen and Kudus because they doubled up on Kudus the second half by bringing on Matty Cash to try and Diaby to try and pin them back a little bit. Quite a game 7. Not his best try hard. He always tries hard, though. He always tries hard. 7 for Matt. I gave him a 6. A 7, rather. I gave him a 7. So Matt gave him a 6. I gave him a 7, I mean. And lastly, it's about Antonio. Great goal. His first goal since August. For our striker. For our Premier League goal scorer of all time. It's his first goal since August. September, October, November, January, February. 5 months. 5 months he ain't scored. His first goal since August. Just letting you guys know that again. Mental. I'm just checking it is August. I'm pretty sure it was August when I checked. So I had a look. And now I'm doubting myself. Yep. First goal since August. First goal since Brighton away, won 3-1. He obviously scored the week before with Chelsea. And then he hadn't scored since August in any competition. I thought the last couple of games he's played well. He was unlucky, obviously, not to have a hand in one more. Literally a hand. To play a hand. See what I did there? Because it hit his hand. I was being funny. And yeah, just it's good when you got a focal point. As much as I love Bowen, he's not a striker. Sometimes it works when you're playing against a progressive centre half who's maybe not the most physically demanding centre half. Then it works. But when you play against a big old brute of a centre half, Bowen gets eaten up and chewed up and spat out. That's when you have Antonio on. So sometimes it works and sometimes doesn't matter. Our Premier League goal scorer of all time. He's played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. He's played 18 games since then. He ain't scored in 18 games. Doesn't matter if he's been off or whatever. 18 games, no, not good enough. Try for a minute one, ran his heart out. Sub too early. No, he was knackered, mate. He was knackered. You could tell. Bambi came off early, maybe a bit early, but maybe another 10, 15. He was causing problems. 19 games, that's it. Needs to do some signings. Antonio, 7, was brilliant. 8, 9, 2 goals. Not his fault. He touched his hand. Needs to make signings, not more. He's out. Well, Tim Stein is in charge of the signings recruitment now, so we'll see. 8, 7, 9. Morning Skype you well. Bowen needs space to run in behind us to see it. Yeah. Both Bowen and Kudus are better when they're running in front of someone, not holding the ball up. When they're running at them, that's what makes a big difference. Multi Apples, nice show. Thank you very much. If you like it, give it a like. If you think it's a nice show, it's not his fault. It's gravity. Indeed, that's my excuse. It's not my fault. It's just gravy. I gave him a 7. I thought he had a decent game. And now, as I said, now we go into the international break where we've got, lots of. I think we've got Areola, Bowen, Souček, Aged, Kudus, Alvarez, Antonio, Paqueta. I think Mavropanos. So I think you've got 9, maybe 10 players. That's 9 first teamers. Divines got called up. Lewis Orford, Finley Herrick, they all called up to their ones as well. I think Kudus is in to make something happen. If he's back to goal, probably more so. You're right, Damien. Out of the two of them, because he's physically very strong, but both of them, they are front-facing players, aren't they? And I've always wanted both, either wing, and you're going to scare opposition when you've got two fast players. You scare people. Same as Villa. Villa have got Diaby and Leon Bailey. That scares people. Is Alvarez playing his country, or he's playing? He's got 2 games. He's playing in the CONCACAF semi-final against, can't remember. Hammer's headlines will tell you. I'll go through all again, Hammer's headlines. And then he plays the winner of the Antonio versus, the Reggae Boys versus the USA, or the loser, because they'll be the third place playoff. Why was Divine not on the bench yesterday? No, he got sent off on Friday. Was this the reason? Nope. No. I think the reason why he's on there, ladders, is because he hasn't signed a new contract. And if he's not going to sign a new contract, and we've got other players who could play in front of him, then what do you do? Yes, he got sent off. He scored on Friday, then got sent off right at the end. It doesn't count towards the Premier League, I don't believe. So that's probably why. They are a pain, although they do actually give us a little bit of time to make sure someone like Emerson can get match fit again as well, or get up to fit. He didn't look fit yesterday, and to make sure we've got any niggles. So it does help a little bit, gives us a bit of a breather for those. Actually, not really, because they're playing international duty, isn't it? Playing the games, but for some, they have a little breather because we've got some really exciting games coming up and really big games out of favour. Yeah, indeed. Russ 10-2. Thank you. I don't know what that means, but yeah. Not doing my driving course. Massive loss. Oh well, back to the holding 3. And Fiona Phillips, that front 4 needs to be more fluid and fully to cover each other. I agree. Referee's atrocious. I agree. Well, I mean, the referee was Australian, wasn't it? Helen, it's like how Irish Tommy was treated by Hammer's chat, locked in the shed until Russ rescued him. And anyone who saw, we saw Irish Tommy in the wild. Happy St. Patrick's Day yesterday. Very silly. He doesn't sign. Well, it's agents talk. I think he would sign, but I think it's agents. That's it. Thought Moyes would have dropped him because of the sending off to learn a lesson. No, he won't. He just won't sign the ting. What was more worrying was that we had no subs. Yeah, I agree. Particularly when you've got Fulham, you've got Villa rather. They've got people to impact, make a real difference. Barmer not given a proper run out all season. Well, when he obviously, I mean, to be honest, until recently, he's been playing really shit. Even for the under 21s, he's been playing really shit. But he had a decent game on Friday. Then he got sent off. We need to organise some games between the youth and to get. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think he's going to get plenty of them going up soon. At least 3 games, isn't he? I think, or at least 2 of those 3, I'd say. Yeah, exactly. But I think it's just different. I think it's different as well. Because I think we need Johnson. I don't think we need Mbama, to be honest, at the moment. He's not as indispensable. I think Johnson's I hope we sort Johnson out, because I really think we need to just make sure we keep him. You know, he's a fantastic player. And for me, he's just really, what I like about him is just his adaptability. It's really good. Really good. I don't know, that's not working. Will Ings leave at the end of the season? Well, if someone buys him, then yeah. But if not, probably not. Why isn't Phillips playing the under-21s to get up to speed? Don't know. It's not I totally agree. I think he's a good player. I'm not denying he's a good player. He's a very good player. But I think we give him behind he was. Thoughts on the Gerd CDM? Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Don't think it will happen, but interesting. Anyway, peeps, thank you very much for your time. If you're new around here, don't forget to give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share. We've got some fun and games coming up tonight. We have got Hammer's headlines, do all the international stuff. All that stuff is going through. We're also going to be doing the Academy show. Great Academy show tonight, if I say so myself. And keep an eye out for the channel. We're trying to get some nice interviews lined up for you guys during the International Week to keep you guys entertained. Are you not entertained? So yeah, keep an eye on that. Lots of fun and games. Maybe I might even do a quiz May even do a little quiz night, a little game show, or maybe even a little quiz where you can all join in. We haven't done one of those for a while. Maybe we'll do that. Anyway, until next time, take care, stay safe, stay warm, and don't forget, you lazy likers, indeed. Time for lunch, indeed. 500 K, 500, indeed, criminal, absolutely mental. Might as well support. If there's only 10, that's ridiculous. And I will see you guys soon. Take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and come on, you bloody irons. See you later, alligator.